with the veteran Hardaway on him. SGA cutting in.
Mitchell with a hesitation move right through Zubac. Zubac picks
Riley on him up top. WittyPenSmith. Step back, three-pointer in the corner.
Ooh, what's going on? WittyP dropping in one time. I'm up at the track, getting a nice little walk in. Nice walk, nice day. A little breezy, but it's a nice day. I want to talk some hoops. I want to talk about three guys that have the most to prove. Yes, three guys that have the most to prove in the NBA playoffs, 2025 NBA playoffs. You see the thumbnail. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander from OKC, my favorite player in the league right now. Donovan Mitchell, Spider, and Luka Doncic for the Lakers. Luka Doncic had a monster game in his return to Dallas. But yes, these three guys have the most to prove in the NBA playoffs for different reasons. Yes. And I'll start with Shai. I get right into it. I'll start with Shai. Hopefully that wind not blowing too much. It just started blowing as soon as I started making the video. You know how it go. But I'll start with Shai. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Looks like he's going to be the MVP. And OKC, they ran the table the whole year in the Western Conference. They ran the table the entire year. He's been spectacular. And he has to make a deep run in the playoffs because he's been dominating regular season now. Last few years, he's been dominating the regular season. He has to make a deep run in the playoffs. He does. I know he lost to Dallas in the second round last year, but Jalen Williams, he didn't show up like we expected Jalen Williams to show up. You know, J-Dub. But Shai, he got his full squad on deck, so you got the most to prove. You got your full squad on deck. You know, Chet, you got Isaiah Hartenstein. You know, you got some role players. Isaiah Joe come off the bench. You know, hit some shots. Big time three-point shooter. So Shai got a lot to prove. You know, you got to show you know, continue to lead your team and make a deep run in the playoffs. So you got Chet, you know, healthy. J-Dub, like I say. Lou Dort, defensive stopper. You got the squad. So got a lot to prove. Shai. We do. And I'm looking forward to it because I think Shai Gilgeous-Alexander could not only be an MVP, but be an NBA champion this year. I think he can do it. So Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, OKC, definitely got a lot to prove. Donovan Mitchell got a lot to prove. You got to show you can, you know, get your team over the hump, and you got to be healthy. You got to play a healthy postseason. You know, you got to be durable. And you have a squad now. You got Evan Mobley, All-Star, Darius Garland, return to form. You know, hopefully these guys can translate it into the playoffs. You know, with Donovan Mitchell, you know, you got Jared Allen, you got Ty Jerome. I say Jerome's in the highs. You know, you got a good bench. DeAndre Hunter. You know, you got a squad. So if everybody play their role, I'm looking for Donovan Mitchell to get the Cavs over the hump. Meet Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals. The Cavs have to play Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals. Anything short of that is a failure. Anything short of that is a failure for the Cleveland Cavaliers if they don't get to the Eastern Conference Finals. And not only that, they have to take Boston to the brink. It has to go 6 or 7. If it's a gentleman's sweep, or you get swept, or you don't make it, season was a failure. Season was a failure for the Cleveland Cavaliers. But Coach Atkinson, he's been, you know, watching these guys' minutes. They played the lowest minutes of their NBA career, so they should be fresh and ready to go when the playoffs roll. And then next week, Donovan Mitchell got a lot to prove. Got to get your team over the hump. You got to show you can be durable throughout the entire postseason. Yes. And we got Luka Doncic. Dallas didn't believe in you. I know you had your revenge game, but Dallas didn't believe in you. Luka, they say you can't be in shape. They say you can't play defense when it really gets intense, when it's, you know, intense basketball, winning basketball. They say it's 4-on-5 out there. Luka, you gonna answer the call in these playoffs? You know, you gonna show you can move your feet, play some defense? You know, got a lot to prove. Got a lot to prove. You playing with LBJ. You know, so Dallas gave up on you. They did. They gave up on you. So what you gonna do? You gonna get right? See, you had your revenge game, but let's see. See, these guys have a lot to prove. NBA playoffs have a lot to prove. Shai, Gilgeous-Alexander, Donovan Mitchell, Luka, Doncic. Different reasons. But I'm looking forward to a talk some hoops. Going for a nice little walk, but let me know what y'all think. You know, about these guys. They have a lot to prove. Comment, like, subscribe, talk some hoops. Best way to help me share the video. If you're entertaining, hit that cash. That's what I do. You know, you can check me anyway. We are.